and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 128 of I Got Gameplay. Now tonight is going to be a bit of a different episode. It's a pre-tape of the interview that I did at the MCM London Comic-Con. Now what I did is I was introduced to an amazing person, a lovely voice actress by the name of Hynden Walch. You all know her as Princess Bubblegum in Adventure Time. She was also in Teen Titans Go as Starfire and Gurren Lagann. She is an amazing voice actress with a wealth of experience. Someone who's had time in the gaming industry and also animation as well. So she will talk about her processes with myself and a few other interviewers, and also sat down with me for a small little one-on-one interview. She is an amazing individual, and if you've ever thought about going into the voice industry, I would suggest that you take a look at this interview. Tell us what you think, of course, if you leave your comments below, and leave us a nice little comment on iTunes as well. That would be great. And I just want to say how amazing this experience has been. The one thing I have to say about MCM, it's been a journey, a journey for myself, and a journey, of course, for my co-host Annina, who just wanted to experience something, in a sense, and interview some amazing people. But in the end, we ended up, seeing a lot more. A lot of an insight into what acting really is, and how basically an actor goes through their process. So I hope you enjoy this, guys, and I shall see you again for probably the end of the show. So see you then. Hi Hynden, my name is Michael Burhan, and this is my colleague Annina here, and we're basically, I'm a huge fan of Adventure Time and Teen Titans, and the few questions I want to ask is, firstly, you've done voiceover work for animation and also for games. What is the process kind of different in both of those worlds?
Yes, very different. I'm sure you know this. Original animation is recorded as an ensemble. In a video game, you're all alone. Yeah, always all alone. Your script is a series of lines. It's sort of like, I think Jennifer Hale said, it's like they took a script, put it through a shredder, threw it up in the air, and then gave it to you, and you're supposed to act it. It'll say like, very angry, and that's all you'll know about the line. And you usually do 3 takes of each line, usually getting more and more intense as it goes for video games. There's lots of screams, a short scream, a medium angry scream, a long plaintive wail, which is why video games are often very taxing vocally. But that's the difference. You're not doing wild sounds so much for animation.
And you can see at the moment, like, there's a huge fan base in terms of the Adventure Time series. You've got like clothes, you've got merchandise, of course, like the dress that you're wearing at the moment, and there's also like this huge amount of video games that are starting to come out now. Like a couple of games. One I played recently was the Secret of the Nameless Kingdom. Do you find did you kind of estimate like the show would be this big, that the popularity would be so huge and encompass around the world to the point where it's just got such a huge following? It's become, in a sense, iconic.
Yes. I did.
And how do you find with kind of being like the character like Bubblegum, for instance, because she's very peppy at one moment, and another moment she can be very kind of straightforward, and I think in a sense adult.
Oh yes. Well, Bubblegum has evolved over time, which has a lot to do with, we have had different directors on the show, and so initially I was directed to be kind of sweet, pretty princess, 16-year-old princess. And then that changed when they started drawing things and writing things like she's upending tables and yelling in German. And so, it was like, well, this doesn't really go. And then we got into the stuff where she was ancient years old. And Kent Osborne has been directing. He's our head writer for the last several seasons. And now we're getting into a bit, I mean, we have been in, but it's a very flat read. It's a very low-key kind of read. Like, oh, man, I got to go handle some royal junk. You know? It's just, it's flat, it's understated. It still can go crazy, but it's not cartoony at all.
Yeah, because the story's gotten very, very dark in comparison to what it used to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And one question from me. Is there someone you see as your idol? An actor who you just find incredibly inspiring, or another voice actor you've even worked with?
Well, everyone who works all the time in animation is in a very select and deserved club. They're the most talented people working in Hollywood, as far as I'm concerned. So it's kind of a group love. Everyone I work with is amazing, but no particular standout idol.
How about a classic actor from
I've always kind of been more of a find your own thing. You know, make it original, make it unique, make it something no one else has done, that sort of thing.
Okay, so in terms of like your voice acting work, because you have done some on-camera roles, for instance, what kind of drew you to voice acting?
I always wanted to do voice acting from the very beginning, but it's very geographically specific. You have to live in Los Angeles, and I started out in Chicago as a stage actor, and then I moved to New York and I did Broadway, and then slowly, finally, I moved to LA. And suddenly there was an opportunity to do voice acting, but still, even with the resume I came armed with, it took a very long time to get in. It's a very small world of people who do animation.
So what would your advice be to any actor that's basically looking at going into this kind of voice acting?
I would say, and maybe my point of view is a little old-fashioned, because I didn't come up in the age of YouTube, but you don't go into voice acting. That doesn't happen. You go into acting, you go into stand-up, you go into performing, you become incredible at what you do. You can be an amazing animator, character designer that has great ideas, that puts your stuff on YouTube and you and your 4 friends do all the voices, and it can happen that way. But voice acting isn't something you shoot for and go for. It's got to be a broader thing to begin with.
So as someone who's been on like so many hit shows, did you know when you got that first Adventure Time script that it was going to become big? Did you have a sense of it?
Yes. I absolutely knew that was going to be galactically huge. I'd been a fan of the Frederator short. Did you guys see that? The pilot with Abraham Lincoln, and and that was such an amazingly brilliant little piece of animation that I knew it would be huge. I can't believe Nickelodeon passed on it.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh my gosh. So yes, I was so excited when I got called in for Bubblegum. I was like, it was like, of all the auditions I do every day, it was like, this is the one I want. Let's get this one. Please, let's get this one. And it worked. So yeah, I was delighted to work on that show from the beginning.
So you seem to really love Princess Bubblegum, playing her, but you've also played villains as well. Is there do you have a preference? Is there something fun about playing a Harley Quinn and playing a Starfire? Or
oh my God, yes! Yeah. Are you kidding? Wouldn't you think it was fun? That's the best part about animation that I like so much better than any being seen kind of acting, is you can be anything. You can be a bird and a baby and an old woman and a supervillain, like all in one day, and there are no limitations on what you can do except, the sounds you can make and the way you can emote it.
Well, talking about that, is there any character you found a real challenge, kind of getting that voice right for?
That's an interesting question. How it works in VO is it's so immediate. It's like a machine gun of creativity. You go in the room, you've read the script before, yes. You've seen, well, sometimes people don't even read the script, and you show up and they'll say, Hynden, can you turn to page 5? There's a Romanian woman who grew up in Italy. We need you to do that right now. Go. And if you can't do it in less than 1 second, they'll ask the next person in the room. So it's a little like, boy, I better get this right on the first time. And auditions also, when you go in for them, there's no way to really know what the producers want at all. It's just a stab in the dark. I used to tell classes I would teach that until you can read the producers' subconscious minds and give them exactly what they don't even know they want yet, and all the producers agree on what that is, that's the only way you can get every role. But in the booth doing an audition, they'll throw at you, you'll have this idea of what it is, and then they'll throw something else at you, and you've got to do it immediately. So in terms of timing, is it harder for me to find certain voices? I can't remember, because it all happened so fast. Yes.
Hi, Hynden.
Hi.
Ali. So I wanted to ask, is there any way where you can read the subconscious mind of the producer?
Are you psychic? No, there's absolutely no way. You'll get descriptions of the character in words. Sometimes you'll get pictures. Sometimes you'll get neither. Sometimes you'll just get dialogue. And, it's like, well, what do they want? I don't know, good luck.
I wanted to also ask, how do you prepare? Do you, usually go outside and get influenced by a lot of people by listening, or by, just seeing what's given in front of you and then just bringing it there and then and bringing it to life?
Yes, I love listening to other accents. It's been really fun being in Europe for the last month and just listening. Being around other people is helpful, yes, but really what it is that's most helpful in getting roles is having absolute confidence in the incredibly strange and embarrassing way you're about to do this audition. And just going, this is the weirdest voice I can possibly imagine, and either they're going to lock me up or I'll get the show. And very often it works.
Were you always really good at accents? Were you one of those people who just had a knack for it? Or did you just train yourself to be able to?
Oh gosh, I always loved accents, just love them. I try to do them. I'm not one of those actors that's gonna go, yeah, I can do every accent in the world. Maybe I can. I'd have to listen and try it, but it's always something I love to play with. And for a while there, I was Mrs. Accent, much to my, nervousness. You guys want me to do what? What makes you think I can just pull that out? So hopefully it came out okay.
Hi. So you've obviously been in your top class cartoons. You've been in Adventure Time and Teen Titans, but you've also worked in anime. And I was wondering if there is a difference between voicing a character where you just have a description and then having the Japanese version of the anime that you can kind of work on. Is it more restrictive doing dubbing work?
Yes.
Okay.
How much should I actually say about this? It's in original animation, you're creating the character and you're collaborating with the artist and the writer, and through synthesis, that's what the character is. That's a lot of the reason why I'm like, no pictures, I don't want to be seen, because I don't want it to be about, look at me, Hynden, look at me. It's like, no, it's about Harley. It's about Starfire. That's who it is. I forgot what we were saying. Oh, anime.
Yeah, anime.
Anime it has its own, system, which I found kind of odd to get into. They don't let you read the script. They don't let you see the show. So when you go in, you are blind. You don't know who you're playing, what the scene is about, who you're talking with. You've never heard the other actors in the scene who are going to be doing the English, because everything is very separate. and it's just about matching the lip flap and get it. It's beep, 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 do it. Now, that's fine if you know who you're playing and what the scene is about. It gets a little strange when those two things you're not privy to those two things. And you can ask questions, but it's like, no, you're slowing it down. You're slowing it down. Just do it. Okay, who am I playing? You can kind of go, well, it's a little girl. Okay, and you can kind of get the emotion in the Japanese track, but you don't know even the end of the scene, what's happening. So original animation, you get to read it, collaborate, add to it, improv, all this stuff that it's really organic and you.
Do you think you have more freedom with your characters when it's original animation?
Utterly. They animate to us. We record the voice track first, then it's animated. So yeah, we have a lot to do with the creation of the characters. Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Obviously going to make Teen Titans Go, that reunited you with your previous cast. Obviously know you did the new Teen Titans shorts which led into that. Since shows obviously aren't usually revived in that manner, what was it like to be back together and working
It
with
was
the team again?
heaven. I love those guys. They are my superhero brothers and sister. Kari and Scott, I think, would bail me out of jail, help me move into a 6-story walk-up on a Sunday. It was bliss. We'd all been really hoping the show would come back, and we had a lot of fans writing us saying, "Bring it back!" We have no say, no power in any of that. But we were delighted to hear that Sam Register wanted to bring it back. And what Warner Brothers Animation does is, you might have noticed with every incarnation of the Batman, it's never the same twice. They'll recast stuff, they'll give it a different tone, like Batman the Brave and the Bold was very different than Batman the Animated Series. And the plan was to do that with Teen Titans, but keep the cast together. And so we were all delighted. And we've been having a lot of fun with the comedy. Actually, my cast is so talented. It's just great to see all the things they can do.
Do you have a favorite incarnation of the show? Is there like your favorite kind of incarnation of the Teen Titans show? Was there like one that you specifically really liked how it came out and everything?
Oh, like a specific episode or a specific version?
Because there's obviously been different versions. They've obviously
yeah.
changed in kind of mood and tone and stuff like that. Like the new one is much more kind of like anarchic and kind of like more jokes, I feel, and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And older versions were kind of more of a like teen drama type vibe to it as well.
I love them both. They're both Starfire, which means they're both me. And all the characters, my cast, they're very close with their characters, and we're watching out for them too. It'd be like, no, she wouldn't say that. Like, sorry if you have to really throw down, which But we got used to it, and the writers, Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek, are killing it on Teen Titans Go. What they're writing now, guys, oh my God, it's like such high satire. It's absolutely brilliant. So, I like them both.
Out of all the characters you have voiced, is there one you most relate to that you kind of think that's sort of me, my alter ego? Sort of thing?
Wow. Well, they're all kind of me, except possibly Madame Rouge, or maybe most Madame Rouge, if you know her. They have to be me, or I couldn't do it. I'm not someone who can just fake it. I have to actually feel it, No marshmallow head reads. No.
Is that the same for when you go for an audition? If you don't feel a connection for the character, would you not do the audition, or?
Well, I would give it a shot, because most of the time they're going to say, "We know you, come back for a callback. We have slightly better idea of what we want now." So I'll be like, "Here's my, throwing at the dartboard blindfolded." And they'll say, "Yes, we know this, we know your career, so come in and try it this way." So yeah, I'll go in for everything.
You're on two very big shows that run concurrently. Do you think because you're a vocal artist, you have the freedom to kind of do that? Could you take on another show if you wanted to?
Oh, bring it! Yeah, for sure. I'm doing I'm doing 4 or 5 shows right now, so yeah, all good.
That was Hynden Walch. I hope, guys, that you loved that interview, you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe to the Retro Anthem Network so that you can see more of these, and of course our special guest for next week, which is going to be another pre-tape. And the reason why we're doing this one is we're going to basically be interviewing an amazing YouTuber in his own right, a gentleman who's been in the past of Games World, who's had experience working for a different company doing gaming reviews, and has now ventured into his own YouTube channel. He is also the amazing Guru Larry, so check that out next week. And as I said, guys, leave me a comment, and if you're someone out there who benefited from this, if we could just get to 1 person, that will make my day. So guys, thank you. And as always, of course, this is Michael Burhan for Annina Khaski, for Hynden Walch, for each and every one of you, saying that we've got gameplay. Have you?